Good morning. Today is April the 14th, 2021. It's 8:23 in the morning. I'm making a special video. We can call this a breaking news alert. The reason I'm making this video is because last night, April 13th, at somewhere around 9:20 p.m., a bunch of criminal rioters thought it would be a good idea to break into Columbus Police Headquarters using a pair of bolt cutters. There's some video of the incident that's been posted online. I have it here. This video was posted on Twitter by a reporter from the Ohio State University newspaper, The Lantern. It's hard to hear what the rioters were saying before they entered the building, but what they were doing is they were chanting a chant that is often said at these events. And they were chanting, "Say his name." And then the people were replying back to the person making the call with the name of Miles Jackson. The reason that they were chanting the name Miles Jackson was because of an officer-involved shooting that occurred on April the 12th, 2021 at approximately 2:15 p.m. I have a little piece of a news article that was printed on the day of the shooting, and I'm going to read that to you. Westerville officers responded to the report of a man identified as 27-year-old Miles Jackson passed out in a car and he was taken to the hospital. Westerville police found he had warrants for domestic violence and weapons charges out of Columbus. At 2:15 p.m., Westerville police were transferring Jackson's custody. Inside the emergency room, there was an altercation. This led to Columbus police officers and St. Anne's security officers firing their weapons, according to a joint statement from Westerville police and the Columbus Division of Police. So I'm going to break that down for you. Mr. Jackson was in the jurisdiction of Westerville Police. He was taken into custody because he was passed out in his vehicle and transported to the hospital because of that. They ran him for warrants and found that he had warrants for his arrest for domestic violence and a weapons charge. So what they did was they called over to Columbus Police and said, "Hey, this guy has warrants out of your jurisdiction. Are you willing to come and get him?" The Columbus Police Department agreed to drive up to St. Anne's Hospital and take custody of the male. While the officers were trying to take Miles Jackson into custody, he produced a handgun. But Miles Jackson had a handgun. He fired a round at the police officers. The news stories say that it was an exchange of gunfire, and the officers returned fire and killed Mr. Jackson. So somehow, before he was transported to the hospital, he had a firearm on him, which nobody located prior to the time that Columbus police officers arrived at the hospital and were taking him into custody or transferring custody from Westerville. The reason I'm telling that entire story is because this was a man who had a firearm, who fired at officers, and was subsequently killed by those officers. And due to that situation, there was a group of criminal rioters who gathered outside Columbus Police Headquarters, pushed themselves up to the door, used a pair of bolt cutters to destroy a set of handcuffs that was being used to hold the door shut. Then they tried to enter the building. So if anybody was confused about what was happening prior to now, I hope you now understand.